Hi friends, so after many requests, I'm going to be showing you how to create this macrame bat, which has a beautiful tiered, layered tail to it. So let's get going. So for the center section, I have 2-meter cords for all of these. We're going to start by popping our cords there. Now we are going to attach the next lot of cords. I'm going to attach 2 cords here. And same on the other side. Attaching with a lark's head knot. Rightio. So the bat is symmetrical, so everything we do on one side we will be doing on the other. We are now going to create the top of the bat, starting with this cord, which was the one that we didn't use as the filler, coming across and popping half hitches along till the end. I'm not going to do one on the final cord. We are now going to repeat that with this cord. Half hitch knots. And we're going to stop there. So we're going to leave the filler cord hanging out. Come across. Once again, leave the filler cord hanging out. I'm now going to repeat that on this side. And if it starts wobbling over, which it may, just pop that cord there. It'll help not to turn your project on itself. So if you wanted to pop that up there, remember we're going right to the end, but leaving the filler cord unknotted. Rightio. Okay, so they will mirror each other. Now I'm going to draw them closer. I'm going to take these 2 center cords and we're going to knot them together. So they'll need to come as close as they need to bind. Okay, now we're going to make a diamond. So continue on the half hitches. You'll notice that this is a whole lot of half hitch over and over and over. Good thing it's my favourite knot. I hope it's yours too. And we're going to go right to the end using chords that we haven't used previously. Now with this bat, it is a structural creation, so we can manipulate it as we go. So this is the chord, we are repeating it on this side now. We can manipulate it as we go simply by moulding it with our hands, and I'll show you what I mean when I get to the end. Remember, we're the boss of the chord. It is not the boss of us. Okay, so I'm going to shape that how I like it. And we will continue to do that as we go. Now, the bit we're doing now is the bat's head. So you can choose to put beads in here if you like, but it looks very real if you put beads in there, and I don't want to scare my girls. So I'm just going to separate it, leave this cord out, I've got 5 cords, and I'm just going to do a square knot because that's going to be my eye. But if you wanted to put a bead in there, it will look a lot more realistic and more batty. But I don't want to scare my 4-year-old if she comes out in the middle of the night and thinks there's a bat on the wall. So they are my eyes, and I'm happy with that. What I'm now going to do is close off this diamond. So this filler cord that we haven't used, once again, our favourite half hitches down to the centre. Can't believe it's nearly Halloween, yeah? How'd that happen? Manipulate the cord, remember you're the boss of it. And repeat that on the other side. I'm doing this in an amber cord. I did the one previous in black, which looked very cool, but would be quite hard to see. So I've chosen this colour because there are some beautiful rust native bats within Australia. So this is an homage to them. So manipulate, mould as you wish until that goes as you wish. I'm going to take these centre knots and pop, I always forget what way goes what, pop them on. We've all got favourite sides, don't we? Close that off. Rightio. Okay, now we're going to do the bat's body. So this goes down much how we dropped chords here. We're going to drop chords down here. Now, first one goes all the way to the centre to give it that bold chest. And I'm going to do each side as I go. You'll notice the chords are starting to get shorter, but we're nearly at the end. I like to leave mine a little bit longer because I never know what I'm going to do. Sometimes I freestyle it and I wish I had that extra 10 centimetres. I'd rather snip off a little bit than not have it there. Okay, now, just like I was talking, I'm going to start dropping chords. So I'm going to leave this. I'm going to use this one. So this mirrored pattern look will create a nice elegance to the work. Even though we're doing a bat, it's still allowed to be beautiful. Moving over, dropping one, choosing this. You'll see why I've done this as a YouTube video and not a 1-minute Instagram video, hey? It's a bit long. So drop another one, come down. It's getting quicker and quicker. Drop one, come down. Keep going. So drop one, come down. Drop one. Could look a little bit like a spider with all those squiggly legs. But we're soon going to get rid of those. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do there. Now we need to close off this body. So this is a little bit tricky and something that I like to use when I'm making handbags. We are going to cover all of these chords. So take your first chord and do a half hitch around it. Instead of dropping it, we join it. Repeat. Don't drop, join. Don't drop, join. You get the picture. Down the end. Now you'll get this little holy bit. Now, I love that. You could squeeze it up, but it creates some beautiful negative space and it sort of looks like their spine. So we're going to come over here, do it again. So we're not going to drop, we're going to join. When working in macrame, it's very important to have not only detail but space. And that's what I was talking about, the negative space, because it's all well and good to have beautiful detail, but if our eyes are constricted and somewhat overpowered by it, we never see it. So we need to give it some time to shine, some space to breathe. So by creating negative fields within your work, you're actually allowing your beautiful details time to stand out. It's not all about detail, fill. Sometimes it can be allowing the elegance of the work through a minimalist action. And is there one left? That's it. I'm going to take one of those, hook it over. Look at that. So I love the way that goes from quite a thin to quite a bold look. Now, if you wish, you can make your tails longer, and by that I mean so take your longest cord as well. You will have shorter and longer cords, and that's because one was used more than the other. Take your longest cord and just keep wrapping around. So remember, we're the boss of the cord. Doesn't matter if you know what you're doing here or if you're just making it up. Just wrap it around to give that an extended look. So choose your longest cord. Doesn't matter. Already did one on that side, so maybe I just need one over here. Push it up. There, up to you. This is your bat. You can do whatever you like. Okay, now we are going to add in the wings. So these lengths were 2 meters, and I think we got away quite well. Now, if you did run out, don't worry about it. Your bat can have a different feathered tail. I'm just going to tuck that one behind. I'll probably snip it. Actually, I'll probably even snip it to that length. And we can use the rest later. So the wings we are going to do, I've got 1.5 meter lengths here, but and your bat, like, get it and prop it out, prop its chest, give it some space, little eyes in there, bits like this, like allow that elegance. Don't try and tuck everything away. And if you make a mistake, instead of trying to hide it, just go with it. Just really explore how you can create that a highlight rather than a hide. All right, so we are now going to do the sides. So they are similar in the sense that we are going to, I might just move this, I can't move it over a little bit. We'll pop one cord there, one cord here. And I am going to put, just make sure it's in shot. I'm going to put 3 cords on the inside of each. Wouldn't this look fun if you did multi-layer cords? Yes, it would. If anyone does that, let me know. Imagine a pink bat with like pink lemonade, orchid, and periwinkle wings. Yay! Explore. This is meant to be fun. We've had such a hard year, especially our kiddos. I am not normally one for Halloween decorations, but when I did this, Lola was so excited. They've had so much joy taken away from them. The simple bat, she got so much joy from it, and she was thinking about how we could do Halloween this year. There won't be door knocking, but maybe we could set up little houses in each one of the rooms in our house, and each one could have a little like trick or treat thing in there for us. So let's create fun through what has been a tough year, not only for them, but for us. All right, now we are going to take this cord here. So these ones were attached. We're going to take our far left cord and, you guessed it, some half hitch right to the end. Now we are going to go right to the end. And here is the secret of to how we get our bat to have that beautiful arced wing. Wouldn't it be funny if the audio didn't work and I was just here talking for no reason? I'm definitely not your typical YouTuber. I'm very not fancy. I'm just chatting. I hope that's okay with you. I hope no one leaves a horrible comment saying I talk too much. You guys need to go to a different channel. Okay, so this cord here we are going to keep, and we're going to target back. Now these, I'm using an old roll of rope here. I probably shouldn't have because it's all untwisting on me, but you want to make sure, because your cords here are going to stay open. So if you have, I always like to sort of twist my cords back tight on themselves, just to get that nice clean line. But then again, I only do it for a little while and then I get bored, so up to you. So I'm going to twist it back, half hitch. See how I'm reversing? And you'll see what I mean by the lovely arced wing that we're creating. In a minute, you just have to trust me. Now the wings are up to you. You can do, so these are the, I don't know, what are they? Bones in a bat's wing? Cartilage? Toes, fingers? These are those. You can do more or less depending on your design and depending on the flair of the bat that you are requiring for your theme. But what I will suggest you do is you do this side at the same time, so you just end up working on the same angle. So because I remember the way I pulled this across, I'm going to pop that over there to give me a bit of balance. The secret to doing a half hitch knot that's really straight is you'll notice this doesn't move. This does not move. It stays straight and I just hook the cord around it. When we start getting all wobbly and we start that's when we can see drama and we cannot know what happened to our knots. But if we keep it flat, you could almost sticky tape it to a wall. Okay, so that's this. I'm now going to go back. And what I mean by doing them at the same time is I want this angle repeated. So there's two little tricks. One, I've only just done it, so I sort of remember I'm going to hook that one up as high as I can. As high as I can, because I can always pull it down. What I can't do is push it up. So these first couple, I'm going to hook high. And by hook, I mean, look how high I'm pulling that up. Pulling it up high. Harry High Pants. I have the most, you know how they say like dad jokes? That's me. So I then look at it and go, yep, she's going to be fine. But still, what I do is I pull it up high. I don't ever angle them down. Like, look how tight I'm doing that. Because what I can do is come over here and push it. I need to push it a little bit, but if it's too low, I need to redo the knot. But if it's too tight, I can just maneuver it a little bit. So I'd rather do it too tight and too high than low and wobbly, if that makes sense. So I'm going to progressively let it drop a little, but still a bit tight. I'm going to show you what I mean. Okay, so that's there and that's there. We can see that this one sits a bit lower than this. All I need to do is very gently with my little bat is squish it down a bit. Perfect. Now, that's good for me. What I would have had to have done if I did it too loose is do that row again. And I don't like redoing anything. So there we go. Okay, now moving back over this side, I'm going to take this knot again, this cord, and move down. So I'm going to do 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do 5, you can do 3, you can do whatever, 5.5, 7, don't care. Your bat, your design, your innovation, you do you. This is just a guide, a pattern structure to help you along the way. You'll always find that one side is better than the other. It's not you, it's everybody. It's me, it's my girls, it's professionals, it's amateurs, it is everybody. Don't hold that against you, your work, or anything. Okay, so there's my third. I'm going to come over here and do my third. Now the third row will be a little bit easier because we're not going on such a high angle, but you still want to follow the same rule of maybe pulling it a bit higher because you can always drop it down. So you can twist that and hide that cord. Now, this one is quite lower than this, so all I do is even them up. And you can sort of just sit there and go, yep, I'll be able to manipulate that to that. Okay, last one for me. Maybe not the last one for you. Now, because we're going to brush out the tail, I recommend using string, but up to you. You can also do this in rope. You can do it in whatever you please. All of these cords are obviously available on my store, and feel free to reach out on socials. Show me your bat. Tag me in your bat. Did anyone even watch this video? Let me know. Okay, so I think this will be my final one over this side, but who knows, because I am all about improvising on the go. After here, we're going to measure and see if we need to do another one. And this is when you can make the decision as to if you would like to add another. And it's about looks too. You might like to pull your wings out further and create a more winged bat. Like if you pulled this all the way out here, which I can't because you'll go off screen, you could do wings all the way in. But I want to keep mine pretty close. So let's have a look. Now, when we pop it up, that's what our bat, we start to see it form. By going in and reversing, see how we create a bit of a hook, and you can manipulate that to create a bigger one, because remember, we're the boss of our chord. All right, so this one here, the wings are going to align, so I'm going to pull them, because remember, we're the boss. That will tense the chords even further. And I'm just going to bring these middle ones and bring them in to see if I need to do another layer, because that's how they're going to go. And you know what? I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to take these two chords. You can really do anything, but I'll show you what I mean. These two and these two, and hold them. All right, I'm going to flip the bat for a second, and I'm going to create a knot. As to where I think it should sit. This is how we get our tiered look. All right, that's not for certain, but let's have a look. Now, I think it's perfect on that side. So what you can either do is literally move your bat to sit in the middle, or what you can do is these chords, see how that length is actually shorter than that length? So I can then pull it, pull it, pull it. See if that makes a difference. Oh, yep, she does. Look at that. Woohoo! Love it. All right, now I'm going to lock that in because I like where it is. So I'm going to take these chords and I'm going to lock it in because I really like how that sits. I still think I'll pull it out a little bit. Let's see if we still like it. Love, Bridie. Don't like. Sorry if I'm bouncing around everywhere. Okay, now these are going to all hide behind here. So that is next, I'm going to get one. You can either do a big progressive knot, or you can sort of stagger it. Now, I'm all for staggering because it just means there's more knots to secure. Now, a lot of people think, oh, will the knot fall out? Well, maybe if your child is hanging off it, maybe if you're going to hang, I don't know, bowling balls off it, but otherwise it's pretty locked in there. And actually, once we brush it out, that creates more security because this fans. Now, I've just squeezed it in, which means I should have to pull it out a little bit, but it means it's locked. So this is when you just squeeze it around, do as you please. Okay, there is the start of our bat. Now I am going to have 2 layers. So this top layer I'm actually going to snip right here, which is where that last length ran out. But if you wanted a longer length, just tuck it behind. No one's going to see it. And I'm going to have a longer layer. So I'm going to snip the next one, I don't know, here. Now I'm going to remove this bat from this stand. I'm going to take it to the table to brush it out. What I do recommend having when brushing it out is A, patience, and B, one of these tools. They really are, you know, they're the hero in this. But let's take it to the table and I'll show you how we're going to get that beautiful fanned look. We are almost there. Let's just have a look to the original, the OG black. So look at that. So we're now going to create this the fanned look. See you in a second. Hi, so we've moved to the table now and I'm going to show you how to get the layered look. Now, I'll turn this on its side. There is no secret to brushing except you've got to brush and brush and brush some more. First level, our longer level. Now we've got to do this top level. Chord may play effect here, and obviously string is easier to brush out than rope. Woohoo! All right, now you can hairspray your work and I will do that later, but for the moment, let's go on to the snipping. A hack with this is wetting it, letting it dry, brush flat and letting it dry there. So I'm looking at this together. Dun, 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 dun. You normally can sort of pick that up and dust it off too. Remember, cut too short, you can always go back and fix it. I mean, only cut a little bit off. That's what I mean by cut too short. Don't do your final cut first. Look at that beautiful bat next to her friend. Hope you guys have a great Halloween. Thanks for joining me. Big love today and always. I love that articulation. Thanks, guys.